Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah Landa. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm also 11 Solutions Sales and Marketing Manager. What this means is that I work with the 11 Solutions portfolio companies to create sales and marketing funnels and help them succeed. In this workshop, which consists of two parts, we're going to go over how to create a landing page. In the first part, we're going to go over the theoretical aspect, and in the second part, we are actually going to get our hands dirty and create a landing page. So let's get started. So before we actually go on and create a website, I wanna go over what an online business looks like. So first off, the first thing you need to do when you create an online business is you need to attract people to your website. This is done using digital marketing. There are two types of digital marketing. You've got the outbound marketing and you've got the inbound marketing. The outbound marketing is marketing that you have to pay for. This is Google Ads or social media paid advertising, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. The problem with outbound marketing is that even though it does work, as soon as you stop paying, it stops. The traffic stops. So, as long as you have money, this is great, and it's a great way to start to get the ball rolling. However, we want to the objective is to attract customers with as little money as possible. So, while we're working on our outbound marketing, we also need to be working on our inbound marketing. Inbound marketing, also known as organic traffic. We've got two different techniques regarding inbound marketing. First is search engine optimization, and the second one is referrals. Search engine optimization can be divided into two. The first one is the actual tags and description of your website, which we will be able to do using the Yoast SEO plugin. And the second one is what you actually write. Regarding SEO and what you write, you're going to be writing a blog. And you've got to remember that the objective of the blog's client is not the people that are going to pay for your product, but actually Google. Google is your number one client for the blog, and there are certain things that Google likes. Google likes content that is original and that is frequent, and that is always published at the same date on the same day at the same time. What this means is that you are going to have to start writing blog posts either, well, I guess you could write 3 times a week, but the best thing you could do is write every day and multiple times a day, publish multiple times a day. For example, right now I have a business in the financial sector which is highly competitive. We are writing 4 blog posts a day every day. We've been writing that for the past year and a half. It took us around 6 months to start seeing organic traffic to our site. And right now, over 60% of our sales come from organic traffic. So the secret is your blog posts have to be over 300 words and always publish on the same days at the same time. This is because Google will likes your page, likes things to be predictable. So if you always publish at the same day, at the same time, at the same day of the week, at the same time, then Google will know when to crawl your page. That's kudos. And well, the second option in organic traffic is obviously referrals. People talking about you and sharing the knowledge of your business with their friends. So you've got all these people that you're attracting to your site. The second part of this funnel is you've got to convert those people. And the way you convert them is you've got to get that product market fit right. You've got to create a solution to an actual problem and show it to the correct person at the correct time. After you convert, you want to retain those customers. It is a lot cheaper to sell your product to an existing customer than it is to attract a new one. So this is where account managers come in and loyalty programs and all these really original and weird things that entrepreneurs come up with in order to keep you in the loop. So, where does a landing page come in? It comes in the convert site, in the convert part of this funnel. So, the landing page is what your future customers are going to land on, and where you're going to explain what your product is and why they should buy it. And your overall website comes in between attract and convert. I mean, I put it there because you want to attract it. Your website works to attract people due to the inbound marketing strategies, but it also helps to convert people because you're giving them information that they're looking for. So overall, this is what an online business looks like. So what is a landing page? A landing page is a standalone page designed specifically for the advertising of a product or service. This is where you convert leads to customers. So I want to go over the differences between landing page, website, and blog. A landing page is static. So first off, Google is not going to like your landing page, right? Because Google likes things that are recent and that are, well, yeah, basically recent. Your landing page won't be recent. You won't be doing lots of changes in the landing page. This landing page is for your paying customers. Then you've got your website, and in your website you can have all these other pages. You've got your blog there. You can have an About Us page. That is not a landing page. And, well, then you've got the blog, which is how you keep Google happy. We're going to concentrate on the landing page. And, well, right now forget the other two exist. So, where can you build a landing page? There are so many options out there, so many free options out there, that it is sometimes a little bit overwhelming to choose which one is the best for you and when. So we're going to go over several of them so you know what is happening out there. First off, I'm going to talk about website builders. So these website builders, you've probably heard about them. It's Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, etc. These website builders are actually super easy to use. They are granted less flexible than WordPress, which we're going to go into later. And they have the hosting included. What does this mean? It means that if you're a non-technical person, they've got absolutely everything you need in order to create your website. These are website builders. Then we've got landing page builders. So HubSpot is a CRM, and MailChimp is a service where you can send email marketing campaigns, which has an awesome delivery. MailChimp, even better than HubSpot. As a side note, HubSpot will be cheaper than MailChimp until you reach, I think, like, I don't know, maybe like 12,000 contacts. And after that, you're going to want to switch your email marketing campaigns to MailChimp. But anyway, that's another topic. HubSpot and MailChimp, they will not let you create an entire website. However, they will let you create a landing page. And their builders are super easy to use. And they work really well. I've used them. And they're awesome. However, it is only a single landing page. So this is great if you want to do something like really quick and get results fast. Then you've got content management systems such as WordPress. So WordPress powers 37% of all websites in the entire world. It is incredibly flexible, which means you can actually build anything. It's fully customizable. And what makes WordPress amazing are the plugins. So this is what makes WordPress great. Because WordPress is open source, people are uploading plugins all the time, and they're giving them maintenance. So, I mean, I don't know how many plugins WordPress must have, but it must be like hundreds of thousands of plugins. Pretty much whatever, well, first off, what is a plugin? So a plugin is an add-on to your site that helps you do stuff. So if you want to add a calculator to your site, then you go to WordPress plugins and you look for a calculator plugin, you're going to find thousands. If you want to do an e-commerce, then there are several e-commerce plugins on WordPress that are completely free, and so on and so forth. So this is why people use WordPress. However, it is a little bit more difficult to use than Wix, Squarespace, or Shopify. However, it is totally worth it. One of the main differences, besides it being open sourced, is that you need to host your WordPress somewhere. So all of these come with hosting included. Here, you actually need to find somewhere to host your website. But don't fret, this can be something that's really easy to do as well. What I want to get at is there is no correct way to build a landing page. All that matters is that it works. All that matters is that you get to attract customers, convert them, and retain them, get their information, and get them to pay, pretty much. So as long as you can do that, then you can use whatever you want. What I'm sharing with you in this workshop is what I use and why I like it. You can do whatever you want. So let's go a little bit deeper into Wix and Squarespace. So between Wix and Squarespace, they power 1.4% of all websites, which is a large amount. So, all right, let's go into the weeds regarding editors. So Wix's editor is unstructured. What does this mean? It means that it is not set in like this in columns and in rows, but you can put everything everywhere. And well, this can lead to disaster because, I mean, unless you are like a graphic designer, having too much freedom in the design is not necessarily a good thing. Another bad thing about Wix is that once you hit the publish button, then you're basically screwed. You can't change your mind. It is what it is. And if you want to change your theme, then you have to create another Wix. Regarding templates, it's got 691 templates as of now. Which gives you definite freedom as to your options. It also has SEO plugins. Regarding pricing, it's $13 a month, the basic package, and there's no commission for the sales that that happen on your website. A big plus if you're a non-tech person is that this is a hosted environment. Let's move on to Squarespace. So Squarespace is known for building absolutely beautiful websites. It is a structured editor, and it has very few templates. However, all of the templates are super pretty. So if you are focused in having your website look just plain pretty, you should definitely go with Squarespace. However, it has a huge downside that you need to take in mind before you begin using Squarespace, and that is that it takes a percentage from every transaction. So it basically grows with you. The more you grow, the more Squarespace will charge. And for me, this is a definite no. So, I mean, unless you're planning on not selling anything, go ahead and use Squarespace. If you are planning on selling something, then use everything but Squarespace. And well, I put here a column showing what WordPress can do in comparison to Wix and Squarespace. So with WordPress, you can have unstructured and structured editors depending on the theme that you use or the builder that you get. Regarding the templates, there are over 11,000 themes on WordPress. So there's so much you can choose from. The SEO plugin Yoast SEO has been proven to be one of, if not the best, SEO plugin out there. And regarding pricing, all right, so WordPress on its own is actually free. You have to buy the domain and you have to get the hosting for your WordPress site. So this is where you are going to be spending money. However, because you can buy the domain and hosting anywhere you want, then you can compare prices and you can choose whichever one is cheapest. And well, part of the cool thing of you being in control of the hosting of your site is that the host has no claim over the website content. In both of these websites, these services, Squarespace and Wix, they do have a claim over your content, and you can't export easily to another hosting site. Now, I want to go over a little bit on e-commerce because this is something that most of us would be interested in if you're planning on selling anything online. One of the greatest e-commerce sites, and also, well, best known, is Shopify. So Shopify, you can view it as a software as a service. It is super easy to use, super intuitive. It has so many apps that you can use and extensions. However, and here's a huge downside, it does not support video content or photo galleries. So if whatever you're going to sell is highly dependent on content, then I would go against using Shopify. And on the downside, once again, is that you need to conform to whatever they offer. That means you can't get too creative, and you have to work within the rules and the lines that Shopify states. Its basic plan is $29 a month. It does not charge any commission on purchases. So I mean, it's a pretty good site. However, now you get WooCommerce. So WooCommerce is what you would get if you were using WordPress. It is open source. You've got so much freedom. Even though WooCommerce does not have as many apps as Shopify, well, you have the WordPress plugins. And as far as the plugins are compatible with WooCommerce, which you would know because it would say in the plugin, then you're good to go. And this works incredible for content-focused sites. So you can put photos, galleries, videos, anything you wish. It is completely customizable and free. So once again, I would choose WooCommerce over Shopify 100 times. So, I mean, I hope that I've convinced you somewhat that WordPress is the way to go if you want freedom and if you want your website to do whatever you want it to do and not be limited by the plugins and the apps of any of the other website builders. So the first thing that you need to do when you are creating a WordPress is you've got to find your domain and you got to buy hosting. So you can do this in several platforms. I'm going to talk about AWS and Godaddy. But there's also Azure, and there's so many other servers that are selling WordPress hosting. So regarding AWS, to be honest, if you're not an IT guy, I would strongly recommend against doing anything with AWS because their customer support is absolutely terrible. All they will do is they will give you a manual and hope you figure it out. And well, I mean, if you know how to read that manual, then that might be enough. However, if you are not a non-IT guy, you will be totally lost and it's going to be very difficult to find somebody to help you. However, if you insist on using AWS because you got a really good coupon discount or something, then just make sure that you choose a regional setup. If you're not going to use AWS, forget I said that, but if you are, please choose a regional setup. So now let's talk about Godaddy. I am a huge fan of Godaddy, mostly because it is designed for non-coders. And their customer support is absolutely amazing. These people are used to talking with, I don't know, your aunt or your grandma, right? So they are super patient. They will run through guide you through any of the problems that you might have. They will explain everything in detail. They are super responsive. So just choose GoDaddy. It's easier. And also, there is right now, as of what day is it today? July 13th, 2021, there is a great student discount where you can get a WordPress hosting, a domain, and free SSL for just $12 with the basic account. This account is actually like super basic. I think you get like 25,000 visitors a month to your website. But it's great for an MVP. If your website starts getting more traffic, you can simply upgrade. But an MVP for $12, I think it doesn't get cheaper than that. So, oh, before I forget, so what's an SSL? An SSL is a certificate that provides authentication for a website, and it enables an encrypted connection. What does that mean? When you look at a URL, at any URL, you see the HTTP, and then sometimes there's an S and sometimes there isn't. The SSL is that S. And whenever you are performing any kind of transactions online, you want that S to be in the URL. All right, so, well, we're not going to build our landing page right now. So anyway, let's continue. So, well, once you buy your domain and your WordPress hosting, which I will go over in the second part of this workshop, it is super easy to set up. And well, let's imagine that you've already set up your WordPress and you already set up your theme, and you're actually thinking about what content you want to put on your site. So there are a few tricks I've learned along the way, which are a bit random, but they do work. So first off, buttons with this thingy at the end have a higher click-through rate. I'm not entirely sure why this happens, but this small triangle can make all the difference, as well as the color. People like clicking on like orangey colors. Something that is not on this slide that I actually learned a couple of days ago is that sometimes the navigation bar reduces conversion. So what I mean to say is, the menu that goes like on top of the website over here, taking it out can sometimes improve the conversion of your site. My hypothesis is that people get distracted with the menu and just don't read the website and go to other of your pages. So anyway, just keep it in mind as a future A/B test that you can do in your website. So next thing is, above the fold is the most important part of your landing page. What is above the fold? Above the fold is what you can see in your screen without having to scroll down. So most people will not scroll down when they get to your page. They will just see this first part of your website, and you've got this part to convince them to scroll down and see more. So what do you want to have in the above the fold? You want to have like, what are you selling? What are you selling? A short description of what you're selling and a call to action. Right? The calls to action are super important, and it's super important to have a call to action above the fold, right? So people can simply, like, if they want to buy then, they can click right then and there. Next, people read a website in an F shape. So here I shouldn't have written read. What I mean is people do not read the website, they skim it. So the way we skim websites is actually in an F form. So we will go all the way here, and then we start reading less and less and less. Basically in the form of an F. So the least important part of your website is the bottom right corner. Few people will ever get there and will ever read that. So regarding the tech stack, you will understand more of what I mean in each one of these when we are actually creating our site. However, I think it's important that you have this list. So first off, in your website, you want to have several integrations. You want your website to talk to several different platforms in order for you to gather information and be able to use it in your digital marketing campaigns. So first off, you want to connect with Google Analytics. Um, all of these integrations you can add to your website using the insert headers and footers plugin, and you insert everything in the header. This might sound a little bit complicated right now. I swear it isn't. We'll go over this. Don't worry. All right, so we want Google Analytics. We want to know what's up with the people that go to your website. Here, there's actually, I mean, Google Analytics will, I believe, will be deprecated in a couple of years because of the of the changing cookies that is happening worldwide. However, right now that is not happening. So Google Analytics is going to be working fine for the near future. You also want to add a Facebook pixel. Again, this is so Facebook understands who goes to your page. And the Facebook pixel is also great because imagine if you're paying Google ads, right? Or your SEO is amazing and people get to your website via Google. So they get to your website via Google, and it turns out that they are logged into Facebook on their browsers. So their Facebook, the Facebook pixel is going to identify that they arrived at your website. So now you know who they are. And you can actually do a remarketing campaign in Facebook to remind them that you exist. Right? And it also gives your brand credibility because, I mean, imagine if you go into a website via Google and then you see it in Facebook. It's like, okay, they're everywhere. They must be legit. Next integration you want to add is Google Optimize. Google Optimize is the best tool for A/B testing. A/B testing is when you want to test things on your site. So what I mean to say is maybe you want to test your calls to action. Something like buy now versus I want more information versus schedule a demo. You don't know which one is going to convert best. And to be honest, some things that are true for some businesses are not true for other businesses. And tests that you do in the past are not necessarily going to be true in the future. So you're going to want to be testing things all the time. And what Google does is that, let's say you have two variants. Google will send some people, will send 50% of the people to variant A and 50% of the people to variant B, and it will tell you when you reach statistical significance. And obviously, your Google Optimize must be linked to your Google Analytics in order to identify the conversions. Next, what you want to have is Hotjar. Hotjar is a free service that creates heat maps of your website. A heat map basically tells you where people are clicking, where people are staying more time, if they ever do get to the end of your website. It also allows you to do recordings. So I think the free package gives it's 1,000 visitors in order to create the heat map, and it will allow you to do 100 recordings that you can see like one by one. Hotjar is also great in order to analyze forms. So forms, just remember that the forms that you use in Hotjar to analyze cannot be iframes. So what I mean to say is they can't be HubSpot forms. They actually have to be something like Contact Form 7 forms. Because an iframe is a window into another website, right? So Hotjar won't be able to see that. You want the form to be in your website, which Contact Form 7 does. So, I mean, if you have really complex forms, I mean, I have a business where the conversion is a form that has 87 different fields. So I want to know what's going on in each of those 87, which is why I use Contact Form 7 and not HubSpot Forms. And last but not least, you want to have an integration with HubSpot. I've already stated that HubSpot is a CRM, and MailChimp is not. HubSpot does have email marketing. It's, well, I mean, I really love HubSpot. It's the best CRM out there, the easiest one to use, super friendly, and also great customer support. And, well, I mean, MailChimp only works for email campaigns, which, if that's all you want to do, I mean, just go ahead and use MailChimp. Both HubSpot and MailChimp have pop-up forms. HubSpot has a chat. I don't know if MailChimp has a chat though, but HubSpot definitely does. And you can do like a small chat flow where it feels like they're talking to like a kind of robot. And you get notifications in the app on your phone, so you can answer live. And I mean, this makes you look really pro, and it's super easy and it's free. Next, regarding the plugins, we're almost done, guys. WordFence is the firewall that I like to use in WordPress. There are many other different firewalls. I use WordFence because it is the one I've always used and I know it works. Insert headers and footers. This is super important because this is how you are going to integrate all of these: Google Analytics, Pixel, Optimize, Hotjar, and HubSpot. These are all going to go here in insert headers and footers, and they're going to go in the header. Next, Yoast SEO. Right, so Yoast SEO is going to allow you to optimize each one of your pages for Google, for the search in Google. It measures keyword density. It allows you to do a meta description, get the tags right, and just makes things super easy. So you want to have Yoast SEO. Next, you want to have Jetpack. So Jetpack is a server that concentrates on rendering images. And it makes your website really fast. So you want your images to be in Jetpack. You want Jetpack to be in control of the rendering of your images. Next, well, HubSpot, you can either do it via the insert headers and footers, or you can actually just download a plugin and connect your HubSpot account. And Stripe. Stripe is a payment platform. So with Stripe, you can charge via a credit card. You can also charge via PayPal. And its interface is really nice. You also get you can also handle subscriptions, and it gives you really cool stats about your growth. So it allows you to compare month versus month. It allows you to do recharges anytime you want. It also allows you to do refunds really easy as well. So just check out Stripe, it's great. So I told you about the more complex forms. Use Contact Form 7. All of these, by the way, are no code. For calculators, use this one, Calculated Fields Form. This basically allows you to perform any operation you want on your calculator, and it has an integration with PayPal. So it's great if you want to have, I don't know, get people to calculate how much they would be saving when they install, like solar panels or something, and use that to calculate how much it would cost, and then just a simple pay now button integrated with PayPal. So I mean, this could make something that's really neat. And again, for e-commerce, simply use WooCommerce. All right, guys. So I mean, this is a tech stack that I believe everybody should use. This is obviously just bare bones, and this will help you to build on top of this and create customizable websites, fully customized websites for you. And well, at least for the theory, this is it. I hope you learned a lot and that you're excited about building your website and that you know a little bit more now than you did before. See you soon.